So I do have something special, a surprise at the end. So make sure you watch and listen all the way. Hi, my name is Christine Siddons, and welcome to the One Tough Momma Podcast. I am a Christian wife and a mom to 8 children, and I'm also a grandmother. And I just want to welcome you to my podcast. It's going to be a quick one this time because, guys, it has been a year since I launched One Tough Momma Podcast, and the year has been an interesting one. Nothing too bad as far as podcasting goes. I did have to learn a ton. I am not a technical person at all, but I did want to kind of go over a few things that I did learn this year. I started this podcast for 2 main reasons. The first one was to gain my, take back my motherhood. Over the past few years, many years, I should say, my motherhood was attacked and torn down. And you can kind of listen to that a little bit in my intro. And that I just want to take back my motherhood, who I am, and bring voice to other moms who need encouragement, who've gone through some hard things. And I want them to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that there is Jesus. He is there to help you. And I just want to be that encouragement to other moms who've gone through it, who are going through it, that type of thing. And then also to earn money, I'm going to be honest with you. To earn money, I have a little list of things that I'm praying for, goals that I want to use the money that I do earn from doing this podcast for. Most of them are not like for personal things. And as far as earning money, that is one of the first things that I have learned, how high the YouTube bar is set to actually earn anything. I'm not even there yet. I have a bit to go, but other than like for a couple of companies, I am an affiliate and I've earned some money from there. And so to help me reach my goals, as far as YouTube goes, you guys can subscribe and then comment, watch the videos, and share my videos, help me to grow. The more people that watch, like, subscribe, the quicker that I will actually get to that earning status. And then if you don't want to sit here and watch me or watch me and whoever I'm interviewing, I'm on Spotify and I'm also on Apple Podcast. And so that would be great too, to go over there, subscribe over there, share my podcast. And I know my podcasts are like all over the place sometimes as far as topics go. But if there's a YouTube or a podcast that would help somebody, just please share it. Another way to help me earn money is in my show notes, I have my affiliate links. Go and make a purchase and I get a percentage of that purchase. And usually there's a code that you guys can use to get some percentage off for yourself as well. And so with that out of the way, a few things that I've learned besides that the bar is very high as far as earning and getting views and things like that is I actually, when I watch YouTube and shorts of any Instagram shorts or short reels on YouTube or anything like that, I actually watch I'm a different viewer myself. So I scroll and just skip through things a lot less. I actually, I can sit here for 20 seconds unless it's something vulgar or, that kind of thing. And then I usually try to give them a thumbs up. I try to like them and I try to comment more because I know how much that does help and mean to those putting on the videos. And so I'm a much more involved viewer. And then I try that. So that way I try to really be intentional about what I'm watching because I don't want to just sit here and watch something that I really don't want to intake. Another thing that I have learned is to ask. So to ask a guest or to ask people to be on my show, I was very surprised at the last guest and I was very humbled by Carrie Williams coming on. And if you didn't check out her interview, it is Eyes Wide Open with Carrie Williams. It was amazing. And I now I have more confidence to ask even more people that I deem as pretty big and pretty important. And so I do have some ideas floating around in my head. I do have a couple that are really big. And I'm kind of just like, God won't let me off the hook on one of them. And so my son is just like, go for it, mom. And then the other one is, I'm very close to asking. They're both men actually, but I think that they would bring something to my podcast. If you have any ideas or guests that you would like to see, please comment in the show notes and we'll see if I feel like it's a good fit and I'll see if I can make it happen. You never know. Like I said, you never know. So I'm going to have some bigger asks, some bigger interviewers, some bigger guests come on and we'll see what happens. So another thing that I was actually surprised by was my reaction to my first negative comment. And my first negative, I really haven't even got that many negative comments, and they really have been pretty easy as far as people have not been very rough. But I was actually, I don't know the right word, relieved, I guess, when I got my first negative comment. And I was just like, okay, this is it. I've learned, I guess, to not be offended by a lot of things. And I was kind of nervous because part of the whole trauma that we went through did affect my confidence. And so I was wondering how I would take the negative comment, but it would just kind of like, whatever. Okay, thank you. And I commented back, and I actually thanked my first negative commenter for commenting and being honest. But that was a surprising effect of this podcast. And then my confidence. So if you know me, I've always been a behind the scenes person. I've always been somebody who has been shy, who's been quiet, who's kind of just lacked confidence for the majority of my life. There's been times that I've been more confident, but for the majority of my life, like I've just been pretty nervous. I guess just not very. I didn't have a lot of self-confidence, and like I was one of those people when I was in high school. I wanted ketchup. I think I was at McDonald's and I wanted some ketchup. And I was nervous to go up to the counter. Maybe I was more like junior high. I was nervous to go up to the counter and ask the worker for some ketchup packets. That's how, like, no, I'm fine. I don't want to do that. I don't like public speaking. I just am a very, very behind the scenes person, and completely happy working behind the curtain, behind the scenes, making someone else look good. And so for me, like when God put this on my heart, I was like, me? Are you sure you want me to be out there and put myself out in the public and go in this kind of platform? But my confidence has grown, and I am learning how to be more solid on my beliefs. Like I believe what I believe, but voicing them, that's where it has been strengthening me. When I write, I'm much better at writing than I am at speaking. And so I'm learning how to speak. I'm learning how to be more confident and just, okay, whatever. And then technically, I've also learned a lot of things when it comes to technology. I am not a technical person at all. So that was one of the things when God put this on my heart, I was like, that was one of the cons. God, I'm going to have to figure a lot of things out when it comes to technology and the internet and programs and things like that. And I don't know what I'm doing. And generally, when I hit a roadblock with technology, I get frustrated, I quit, I let someone else do it. And gosh, God has just really been helping me not to get frustrated. And I have hit roadblocks. I have had to learn a few different programs to get to this point. And I think I finally found the one that works the best. So, but God has helped me to learn different programs, to understand how to make things work better. I'm not there, and I still have a ton of things to learn. But looking back at how much I've learned, if I could be just like not humble for a minute, I am very proud of myself. And so I'm glad that I've learned so much and just been able to come so far when it comes to technology. And in this past year, I've covered topics like adoption, and I've talked about our adoption story and a few different things that you might want to consider before adopting. I do want to get more in depth in the harder aspect of our adoption, but I really wanted to cover our reasons why and our beginnings into the adoption journey before I tackle the harder things. And for a couple of reasons, I wanted to establish, like I said, our hearts in this, and I wanted to establish the whole beginning story before I go into the heartbreak and the trials that we've really gone through. And then I kind of been delaying a couple of the stories because a lot of the stories, or a lot of the things that I'm going to say, are still kind of raw, and I'm still very vulnerable to talking about them. And then also I'm just waiting for a little bit more time to pass for legal reasons. And so I've talked about divorce. I've talked about how to clean, how to organize, postpartum depression. I've done book reviews, which seems to be a hit. And I've talked about reactive attachment disorder. I've shared my faith, and we've talked about infant loss and homeschooling. And, I do want to talk about my time as a military wife, which was very short, but I want to talk about my time as a military wife and just some of the, I was just not even prepared to be a military wife. Anyway, so I do have a lot more topics coming up. And like I said, I do have some people that are on my list. I've already sent out a couple of invitations, and I'm going to send out some more, hopefully, to ask other people to get on. And again, if you have any ideas for a guest or suggestions for a guest, somebody that you would like to see on my podcast, please just let me know in the comments and we'll see if we can make it happen. I just want to thank everybody who has been with me, maybe from the beginning, or who has joined even just recently. Welcome to the One Tough Mama Podcast family, and thank you for being a part of the show. There have been times when I've wanted to quit, but some of you guys have had such heartfelt comments, whether through text or on the comments or just in person, that I'm like, you know what? Okay, I am making a difference. So you're the reason why I'm still doing this. So thank you. And I do want to be an encouragement, and I do want to be a blessing to those around me. Okay, so now to the surprise. So thank you for listening or watching all the way through this podcast. I have been purchasing some products, some health products from Heart and Soil. It's a animal type based product. There are supplements for females, males. You can take liver. It's pretty much like an animal organ based supplement. Some of their products have really, really helped in our health. And with my last order, they sent a free frother, but then sent 2 extras in there. And when I wrote the company, I said, hey, you sent me 3 frothers. And they said, oh, just keep them, just use them, give them away, whatever you want to do. So that is what I want to do. I have 2 extra Heart and Soil frothers that I want to give away. And they work excellent. I would take one out and show you, but once you take them out of the box, I don't know how to get them back in. And so, and I don't want to ruin the boxes. They, as you can see, they're pretty small, but they work excellent and they work super fast. My teenage son is loving it. I probably uses it every day. So it's super fast, super easy, and it's fun. I just made some chocolate tea and I frothed the milk for the chocolate tea, and the kids thought it was like the coolest thing. So how to win, or how to be put in for a drawing for it, is subscribe and let me know in the comments that you subscribed, or go to Heart and Soil, make a purchase, and then let me know in the comments. And again, your purchase is not I don't get anything back from it, but I like this company and their products so much that it doesn't matter. I want to share. So again, subscribe and let me know, or purchase something from Heart and Soil and then let me know in the comments, and I will compile all the names, probably put them in a bowl, and let one of my kids pull your name out. I have 2, so you have 2 different chances of winning. And if you're local, make sure you get it. If you're not local, I will get with you to get your address and give it to you and send it to you. All right, thank you. It's been a year, and I am so excited to see what this next year is going to bring and entail. If you have any suggestions as far as topics, any questions, please just leave them in the comments. I will comment back. And thank you for being a part of the One Tough Mama family.